The French liner Normandie, the only ship that approaches the Queen Mary in size, is now almost ready for her maiden voyage. The giant vessel, towering over the surroundings, enters the Saint-Nazaire dry dock for the fitting of her propellers, which, by the way, have been made in Britain. She is expected to make her first Atlantic crossing from Havre to New York via Southampton in about 2 months' time, and will then be the biggest liner on the run for a year or so until the Queen Mary is at sea. Big ships used to be called floating hotels, but now they are more like floating cities. Beauty and grace, however, have not been sacrificed to size, as the movie tone pictures indicate.
The 73,000-ton Normandie, at present the world's largest liner, is in the dry dock specially built to accommodate her at Saint-Nazaire. The Normandie was launched last year, but returned to dry dock to have her cradle removed and for finishing touches to her hull. Although the Normandie is claimed to be larger than Cunarder number 534, now on the stocks on Clydeside, there will probably be divergence of opinion on the point when the Cunarder is completed, just as existed on the counterclaims of the Leviathan and Majestic in the past. The water is admitted and the Normandie is refloated.
One thing remains before the Normandie can sail. The giant French liner must fit her propellers. For this, she is in dry dock at Saint-Nazaire, which she will soon leave for Havre. The 4 screws weigh 23 tons each. They were shipped from London some weeks ago. 16 feet across, they are slightly smaller than those of the Bremen and Europa. But as the Normandie's engines rev at a higher speed, these propellers will exert even more push. The 4 of them will transmit 180,000 horsepower. They were made in England. So Britain will take some of the credit if the Normandie sets the Atlantic record.
While the Mauritania and Olympic go to the shipbreakers, the new French liner Normandie leaves Saint-Nazaire for her trials. She's a beautiful vessel, and we may congratulate our French friends on designing one of the most graceful-looking ships that ever went to sea. Past the American War Memorial she steams 79,000 tons off her, at the moment the largest vessel afloat, trying out her paces for her maiden voyage to New York on May the 29th. On these trials she did 31.7 knots, but may be capable of even more. Our own Queen Mary is expected to reach a speed of 34 knots, and there will therefore be great rivalry between the two. May the best ship win, which we all hope will be our own.
Good luck to the Normandie. We can tender her our best wishes while reserving a secret hope that she may not prove the superior of our own Queen Mary. Good luck to the giant luxury liner which carries the colors of France in the struggle for Atlantic supremacy. Steaming out from Le Havre, the French Leviathan with her beautiful lines, so formidable, épatant, épouvantable to the Frenchman, begins the maiden voyage to New York via Southampton, which it is thought will break the record variously claimed by the Italians and Germans. Good luck, Normandie. The hopes of all France are with you, and the admiration of the world.
Normandie, mightiest monarch of the mercantile marine, receives an aerial welcome from our cameras as she sails majestically into New York at the end of her maiden voyage. All previous records were smashed by this crossing from Southampton. over 3,000 miles in the amazing time of 4 days, 11 hours, 42 minutes. The biggest liner on the seven seas, one of the most beautiful, and now the fastest, Normandie has won for France the blue ribbon of the Atlantic. America greets her with a roar from 100,000 throats, and her little sisters of the sea shriek a welcome from many-tongued sirens.
Des yeux qui font baisser les miens, un rire qui se perd sur sa bouche, voilà le portrait sans retouche de l'homme auquel j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, qu'il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens dans moi mon cœur qui bat. Des nuits d'amour à plus finir, un grand bonheur qui prend sa place, des ennuis, des chagrins s'effacent, heureux, heureux, sans mourir. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, qu'il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est toi pour moi, moi pour toi dans la vie. Tu me l'as dit, m'as juré pour la vie. Dès que je t'aperçois, alors je sens dans moi mon cœur qui bat.
The Normandie brought back to England a load of film stars, including charming and beautiful Anna Neagle, and Claude Allister, who is also charming. An American visitor was Zazu Pitts. She lost her luggage, oh dear. Lovely Kay Francis came too, and here she is outside her London hotel. Nearby, our cameraman happened to spot Douglas Fairbanks and his wife, formerly Lady Ashley. Almost before she got to New York, the Normandie was back in English waters with Walt Disney on board. Here he is with Mrs. Disney. And, hello, what has he seen? We might have guessed, Mickey had to come too, and he tried to beat the Normandie with his own craft, one fish power. Leaving Mickey to his incredible adventures, we must ask his creator to say hello between autographs.
Hello. Anticipating a very pleasant vacation here in England. Oui. I still keep talking French after getting off the French boat.
As a matter of fact, our cameraman nearly missed this story altogether because he wasn't expecting such a staid arrival. He was looking for something like this.
Is that right they call you the lady killer in the States, Jimmy?
Well, I'm a Casanova. You know, Barrymore gets all the gals. They say he's got a beautiful profile. Why, I got more profile than all the Barrymores put together. Why, I'm the second Don Juan, and twice as good as the first.
Did you have a good trip coming over, Jimmy?
Why, it was colossal. What a trip. And the food... Why, I had 2 helpings of every course. One going down and one coming up.
The largest flying boat went out of Havre to meet the largest liner. She is the Lieutenant de Vaisseau Paris, winging out to greet the Normandie. Later, the giant flying boat struck the mast of a ship and went back to her base on a lorry.
The SS Normandie, one-time French Queen of the Atlantic, is now to be an American ace in the Battle of the Seas. Beneath a coat of war paint vanish the glories of the 83,000-ton luxury liner. Her portholes are welded over as part of the great transformation into a naval auxiliary. The Normandie found refuge at New York when the war came to France. Now the big name letters are removed as she starts a new life under the name Lafayette, in honor of the great Frenchman who befriended the USA in the Revolutionary War. During her conversion into a troop transport, fire breaks out in the 83,000-ton liner Normandie, recently renamed Lafayette. Investigators established, apparently beyond all doubt, that the sparks which started the fire came from an acetylene blow lamp, which was being used close to bales of inflammable material. Orders had been given to move the bales, but they were shifted only 2 or 3 feet. Although all suggestions of sabotage have been officially discounted, the whole business sounds mighty strange. Thousands of workers had to flee for their lives as flames roared through the one-time French luxury liner. The dockside at New York Harbor is cleared as firemen and apparatus from all over Manhattan fight the stubborn blaze that rages for 4 hours. Ambulance men are kept busy as the many casualties are brought away from the fire-swept ship. While the fire is confined to the 3 top decks, a new danger presents itself. The closing of the fireproof doors has prevented the escape of hundreds of tons of water poured into her by the fire hoses. Gradually the ship becomes top-heavy and she takes on a dangerous list. This was ultimately responsible for her capsizing. Early in the morning she toppled over and lay in the soft mud in the docks. Not sabotage? I wonder. The strong tides of the River Hudson complete the work of fire as the luxury liner Normandie, renamed Lafayette, turns over with her bridge awash. What was once the second finest ship afloat is now derelict, in the mud. A floating fortune lies helpless in the river. Salvage may be considerable, but the raging fire has robbed a noble ship of her glory forever. Normandie, the cracked transatlantic liner that was fired in New York Harbor early this year, is still being salvaged. The huge vessel is lying on her side in the causeway, and an army of workmen are busy on her lofty decks dismantling her metal for scrap. After one experience of fire, there's no smoking on this job. Maybe you'll recall the scenes of the old blaze.
cabins are still yielding their treasures, some of them charred, but nonetheless treasures. And down below there are other treasures that went down when the ship turned over. Up there, part of the deck rail has gone, but still going are the oxyacetylene cutters. They've a lot of work on hand.
One more glimpse of the former French luxury liner Normandie, which caught fire and sank in New York Harbor when being converted to war use. After one of the greatest salvage achievements on record, she is afloat once more. So after 4 years, she is able to get away from her berth in the Hudson River, and we hope her future will be brighter than her past.